Hey folks, welcome to another video on Jurassic collectibles. Tonight I thought we would do a 3-in-1. So we have got the 3 latest single pack Hammond Collection figures and we are going to look at them in a combined review. So firstly, for this new wave we have got the Troodon. You can see really nice packaging for this one. True FX now across the branding. The bio for this one says Troodons are small carnivores with big eyes, sharp teeth and a poisonous bite. After releasing their venom, Troodons use their speed to take down much larger prey. And you can see on the back of the packaging a few different photos, the other figures that are in this assortment. Again, a repetition of the bio at the top as well. And on the other side, interestingly, if it wants to focus, just the continuation of that front picture. Now, this did get a lot of criticism online for the Photoshop work. It is very clearly a Velociraptor that's been Photoshopped, but for what it is, I don't have a huge issue. So we have the Troodon, then we have the first, it helps if I don't drop it, the first True FX figure that was ever revealed, the Stiggy Mollock. This is one I've been wanting in the Hammond Collection for a long time. You can kind of see it in the packaging a bit. I will say the True FX packaging is a lot darker, so I find it harder to see the figures in the packaging. It doesn't help that the Stiggy Mollock is a slightly darker colour anyway. But you can see on the side, this is a Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom figure. Something we didn't check is the Troodon is just a Jurassic World figure. And this says, trapped at the Lockwood estate, Owen Grady devises a plan to put the domed head of the Stygimoloch to use. With a combination of whistling and wall breaking, Owen is able to free himself, Claire Deering and the Stygimoloch from their caged cells. And there is a look at the back of the packaging. Again, Hammond Collection on the side. Pretty cool stuff just there. Really nice inclusion. So that's 2. And we have then got the Velociraptor. So this is from the Lost World Jurassic Park. Although interestingly on the side they opted to not include the Lost World logo, which is unfortunate. But it says, with distinct and dramatic colouring, the Velociraptors on Isla Sorna are leaping into action. Despite these unique attack abilities, Dr. Sarah Harding, Dr. Ian Malcolm and his daughter are able to make a daring escape. So that is quite cool just there. So that is the 3 of them. Those of you who are eagle-eyed will have already spotted me moving something out of the reflection at the start. I did buy multiples of these figures, so we don't need to open these on camera. We do already have them. Let's start by taking a look at the Velociraptor. If we move these out of shot now. So the Velociraptor has got some really nice striping across the figure. I am just gonna angle my camera screen out a little bit so I can get a better look at what I'm showing you. So you can see we have got the paint for the finger claws, which is one of the most important details for me with this line. We have got the really nice stripes. We've got the smaller feet that we've seen more recently on the Hammond Collection figures. And then you do have that tiger striping that goes all the way down the figure's back. Now interestingly, the tail is a slightly lighter orange than the rest of the figure, and I actually prefer this tone of orange to the tone of orange that is seen here. I just think it works a little bit better. Now looking at the head, you can see kind of the usual Velociraptor sculpt. If we bring our light back a bit to give us a bit more light just here. Now what this figure does unfortunately suffer from is the overbite problem that early versions of Blue had. So you can see just there, that jaw is ridiculously long. Now luckily somehow there is a way on this particular figure, on the sample I've got open, that the jaw then presses back in. So for this one, it isn't hugely problematic. I am a little bit nervous about my other ones though. But you can see, really great looking version of the tiger striped raptor. All of the usual Hammond Collection raptor articulations, so we won't go over it too much. But I just think this is a really nice looking figure. You've got the underbelly paint that goes up here. This is just really what the Hammond Collection is about. I've wanted one of these for a long time, so I'm really glad that we have finally got the tiger stripe raptor. Now next up, on figures that I've wanted for a long time, we have got the Stiggy Mollock. And this figure, I think the thing that's most interesting to me is the colour scheme feels a lot darker than I anticipated. They've gone with a really dark shade of red. I'm not sure it's the most accurate shade they could have chosen, but it looks alright. You can see the head just there. Really, really nice detailing all across. Bring that a bit closer. You do, of course, have the opening beak, which is really nice. And then on the dome itself, there is all of this paintwork. This feels really weathered and well done. You can see we've got the extrusions either side of the head, and looking at it front on, it is really cool. We then have got, obviously, the patterning that goes throughout the body. Interestingly, the kind of underbelly paint shows on the back of the legs here. I don't think that is the most accurate either, unfortunately. But then you can see there is that great underbelly paint throughout the figure. We don't have any fingernail paint here, mainly because they are so small. But we do have paint for the toe claws just there. And in terms of articulation for Stiggy, you've got the usual ball jointed tail that is also a rubber piece. The legs have got the usual articulation, forward and back. They don't go back very far. This is as far back as they go. We've got ball jointed ankles, hinges at the arms, hinges at the elbows. And then frustratingly for me, the neck can kind of come down that far, and then it feels like the head doesn't want to go any further. So you're so close to a perfect charging pose, but you can't quite get the head down further. Now with that said, this head is on a ball joint, and it does almost feel slightly fused, so I do wonder if that's possible on other figures, and if there's just an issue with the quality control on this particular figure. But with all of that said, you can see a really nice look at Stiggy there. A really good release for the Hammond Collection as well. I have to admit, all three of these figures are fantastic releases. And then lastly, we have got the Troodon, which has got arguably, I would say, the most interesting paint applications that we've seen on a figure in some time. If I bring it closer, you can see the kind of feathers on the back look really, really nice. There is so much paint and texture in there. And what I really love is the speckling they've chosen to put throughout this figure. It just really makes it pop. It adds so much detail there and looks really, really good. And that speckling does continue all the way down the leg into the feet, where the feet are then a different colour. Now you can see that does mean that the claws aren't painted separately. It would have maybe been nice if they were finished in a matte colour, but I don't think that was essential here. You do even get a little bit of speckling paint just on the kind of elbow. Again, we've got these really long fingers for the Troodon, which look quite intimidating. You have then got this long neck that functions a lot like a Gallimimus joint. Again, with all of those speckles, you've got great feathers or quills, depending on how you want to define them, on the head just there. And then this head sculpt with the milky eyes that is clearly a callback to Jurassic Park the game, that looks so, so cool. While it would have been great to get this in the Jurassic Park the game colour scheme, I do understand why they didn't do that, since it is non-canonical. Instead, this is kind of Mattel's own take on the Troodon, and I really like that. You can see we get really good articulation in the head, all of the usual articulation in the legs. The figure I can most compare this to, proportions-wise, is a Gallimimus. It feels very much like an Ornithomimus, or similar. So A very, very interesting figure. I really like this one. I'm actually really excited to use the Troodon in more toy photography as well. So there we go. That has been a closer look at the Troodon, the Stiggy Mollock, who now is not going to want to stand. There we go. And the Tiger Striped Velociraptor from the Hammond Collection assortment. Do let me know what you think of these figures in the comments below. Make sure to like, favourite and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. And until the next one, take care and have a great week.